There is nothing that can hurt you. So what the hell are you afraid of?
On today's episode, a lot of details coming from the world of superheroes on both the small and big screen. I'll have a recap coming up.
So you seek revenge?
I seek righteousness, but I'll take revenge.
And I'll let you know what I thought of Hollywood's latest remake, The Magnificent Seven. Plus, this week's all-new Movie-ism. All this and much more on this episode of EMoney's Reviews. What is up? Well, it's been a big week in the world of entertainment news, and for me personally here in LA. I just finished working on a popular YouTube web series last week, and yours truly could be making a special appearance on the show. It's like a YouTube crossover. But I can't give out details on that just yet. I'll have more when the show comes out in the next month or so. But for now, let's get caught up on what's been happening in entertainment news. Last week, we got our first real footage of Tyler Hoechlin both as Clark Kent and Superman in the season premiere of Supergirl on the CW next week. And a lot of people are saying that Hoechlin may already be a better Superman than his movie counterpart, Henry Cavill. And all I can say is, from what I've seen so far, I'd have to agree with them. Now, in all fairness, it's not completely Cavill's fault. I mean, he's an actor who works with the script that he's given. And if the director tells him he needs to be brooding, then he'll be brooding. Even though that's not supposed to be what Superman's about. Hoechlin's behind-the-scenes team, however, seems to have a much better idea of who Superman's character is. I mean, already from what we've seen so far, his suit is much brighter, he has a sense of humor about things, he actually smiles at people. I mean, he's the perpetual Boy Scout we all know and love. And also, Hoechlin's Superman suit has the classic S symbol on it rather than the modernized Zack Snyder version. But for us to know for certain if Hoechlin is the better Man of Steel, we'll have to wait for the season premiere of Supergirl on the CW on October 10th. Also in CW hero news, we're getting some of our first images of the Justice Society of America, who are set to debut on the season premiere of Legends of Tomorrow on October 13th. And from this image, you can see from left to right, Stargirl, Dr. Midnight, Hourman, Obsidian, Vixen, and Commander Steel. Now, for those of you who don't know, most of these guys are classic JSA members, although I can't help but find myself missing Sandman, Dr. Fate, and Alan Scott Green Lantern. But although having the Helm of Fate being teased on Constantine a while back, we can't help but hope that Dr. Fate will make an appearance somewhere in the Arrowverse at a later date. But this team, along with the Legend, should make for an action-packed premiere on October 13th. Okay, now moving on to Marvel superhero news. By now, most of you have probably finished binge watching Luke Cage on Netflix. And all I can say is Marvel and Netflix have once again delivered a pretty amazing series with down-to-earth heroes that you root for and villains that you love to hate. Also, the end of the series with Luke Cage being arrested and Claire Temple, who is kind of like the Agent Coulson of the Marvel Netflix shows, assuring him that she knows a good lawyer, will set up the story for the upcoming Defenders series. But before we can have the Defenders, we have to bring one more player to the party. Iron Fist, set to premiere in March of next year, will round out the roster and set the stage for the Defenders. And just last week, Netflix released this new image of Danny Rand, aka Iron Fist, played by Game of Thrones star Finn Jones, finishing off the last of a group of enemies. And if Iron Fist is anything like its predecessors, we can expect a lot of binge watching from fans in the first week. Okay, now moving on to Marvel movies, and we are getting new details about next year's Spider-Man Homecoming, and this detail makes me a little nervous. It seems that in Spidey's first solo venture into the MCU, he will be tackling not one, maybe not even two, but perhaps three villains. The Vulture has already been confirmed as the main villain in this film, but leaked photos have also confirmed that the Shocker will be involved. Now, a third, currently unnamed villain won't battle Spider-Man, but rather Peter Parker in his home life when Aunt May starts dating a new man. Now, all I can say is I hope that Marvel knows what they're doing, as we've learned time and time again that too many villains in a Spider-Man movie just makes for bad storytelling. Since the Tobey Maguire franchise was killed with 3 villains, and the Amazing Spider-Man franchise also killed with 3 villains, let's just try not to kill this one before it even starts. Let's just hope that Marvel continues to impress. Now, finally, I want to give a very special shout out to a dear friend of mine. About a year ago, when I was still living in Louisville, one of my dear friends, Christine Farley, was about to move to New York to pursue a career in acting. And one of the last things I said to her before she left was to kill it up there. Well, now a year later, it seems she most certainly is. Take a look at this clip from this week's episode of Gotham with Christine front and center as a preferred extra.
Look into my eyes. Not around them, not above them, but into their center. Now sleep. Now, what would we like to see the lovely Miss Keene do? Physical feats? A trip into her psyche?
She said we needed more whimsy.
Barbara, when I count down from 3, you will find me irresistible. You will be madly in love with me. 3, 2, 1. Barbara, do you care for me?
Oh, yes.
Do you love me?
Very much.
But what if I can't feel the same?
Oh, dear.
What if I love another? I'm sorry, Barbara, my dear, but... 3, 2, 1, awake.
She's a bit sensitive to rejection. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Jervis Tetch.
Be sure to follow Christine on her Facebook page at Christine Renee Farley. And Christine, congratulations on all your success. I'm so happy to see you doing so well in New York, and I hope I see you again soon. Okay, now moving on to this week's movie review, and this week I'm reviewing the latest Hollywood remake and Western, The Magnificent Seven. In this remake of the 1960 classic, 7 gunmen come together to take on an evil businessman and his army who are terrorizing a small village. Now, a little backstory on this tale. The 1960 original was not the first time this story was told. It all began with the 1954 Japanese film, Seven Samurai. Same basic story, a village is being terrorized by a warlord, and so the villagers beg 7 unemployed samurai, which I suppose would make them Ronin warriors, to help defend them against his army. And this story has been retold several times throughout cinematic history. You've got the original Magnificent Seven in 1960, Battle Beyond the Stars retelling it as a goofy science fiction tale in 1980, A Bug's Life reimagining the tale for kids in 1998, Ironclad telling it as a medieval castle siege in 2011, and finally the remake of The Magnificent Seven in 2016. So let's delve into this latest retelling. Denzel Washington leads a star-studded cast in this action-packed Western, which includes Chris Pratt, Ethan Hawke, and Vincent D'Onofrio. Guys, this film has just about everything you would want in a Western or in a film in general. Action, comedy, compelling characters, good storytelling. And that's why I am going to give it 3.5 popcorns out of 4. Okay, now moving on to EMoney's Movie-isms, and this week's is a good one. This is what I like to call the Indiana Jones. And this is what happens in a movie when the bad guy looks big and scary, and it looks like it's building up for a big fight scene, and then the good guy dispatches him with little to no effort. And this idea is made for a lot of amusing scenes in other movies.
All yours.
Hello? I accept your surrender. Anyone else?
Well, that's it for this week. I was trying to come up with some exciting way to end the show, but you know what? The hell with it.